fell in love with small businesses. Sitting down with the older generation, listening to the stories about how to become financially free and how to become an investor. All these stories really shaped who I am today.
It's like, wait, hold on. There's money to go around. There's no scarcity of money.
None.
There's an abundance of money, regardless of what we think or where we grew up.
That's right. See, when you know where you stand, you know how to plan. Because when you thrive, I thrive. When we serve one another, we both thrive.
When I came into real estate, one paycheck was more than just that. And at that moment, I was like, what? We made it, Mom. Like that, right? But then I had a new problem. What do I do with this money?
It's either you work hard now and have it easy later, or make it easy now and have it hard later. It's so empowering as a woman to have choices, because that's what money does. It gives you choices.
Welcome back to another episode of the NAHREP South Florida podcast. NAHREP stands for the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And I'm your moderator, Cindy Perez, real estate agent with the Ivan and my team at Compass, Florida, and the 2025 president for our chapter here in Miami. Just want to mention that we are Latino, inclusive, but not exclusive. And yes, we speak English. And more than just being president of the chapter, I am just someone who wants to keep learning. And that's why we started this podcast this year, to bring the experts in our industry to the table so we can educate our community and our NAHREP familia in a deeper way than we usually do at our events. And today I'm especially excited because I get to sit down with not only a powerhouse tax expert, but also my now personal accountant, Dr. Patty Mason.
Aw, what a sweet intro.
So excited to have you here, Patty.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Dr. Patty Mason is the founder of Mason Accounting and Consulting Services and the Financial Wellness Academy. I'm excited to be a part of that. She's a tax strategist, entrepreneur, and educator with over 20 years of experience helping individuals and businesses save money, build wealth, plan for the future. I've seen firsthand how patient and thorough you are. And she works with businesses and real estate agents alike. Now I get to share her brilliance with all of you. And I can't wait to ask you all the questions, Patty. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting, and I'm so happy to be here, especially with you.
Yeah. Hola, familia. My name is Cindy Summer Perez, and I am the 2025 president for the NAHREP South Florida chapter. NAHREP is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and our mission is to advance sustainable Hispanic homeownership. With over 100 chapters nationwide and more than 58,000 members, we're proud to be part of a powerful network making a difference. Our local South Florida chapter, also known as the Miami Chapter 305, is ranked top 10 in the nation and number 1 in the Southeast region. Standard membership is just $49 a year when you select the South Florida chapter as your home chapter, and that gives you discounted pricing on our 4 local events, plus regional and national events. Or you can go for the Platinum membership at $250 and enjoy universal membership across all chapters in the region. Register now at nahrepsouthflorida.org/membership. And now let's get back to the podcast. Let's tell the audience, tell us a little bit about you so we can get a little familiarized.
Okay. Originally, I was born as Piroska Erzsébet Bányai. I am actually Hungarian, and I immigrated from Romania when I was 11 years old. I grew up in Southern California, where I actually spent many years starting in my accounting practice. I actually was a basketball player among other athletes in high school. And there's so many stories about resilience and not giving up when things were a little bit hard. So I learned a lot of lessons, not only from having to start work at a very young age to help my family to live, but also through basketball and a lot of my sports that taught me discipline and structure that guided my process. I started in public accounting just at 17 years old.
Wow.
Yes, actually, my cousin in California has a CPA firm, and I started working for him at a young age. So I kind of was mentored in this whole industry for many, many years. And throughout the journey, I fell in love with small businesses. sitting down with the older generation, listening to the stories about how to become financially free and how to become an investor. All these stories really shaped who I am today.
Wow. And you were a basketball player in high school and college.
And college. Well, briefly in college. It was a lot of fun. And then, of course, I got pregnant with my first son. That changed my life forever. That's a journey in itself.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about your expertise, your credentials.
Okay, so I'm federally licensed as an enrolled agent. This is the highest accreditation from the Internal Revenue Service. And I've been practicing since 2016 with this licensure. Prior to that, I was part of CPA firms. So I worked as a senior tax accountant at those firms. I'm also a certified acceptance agent with the IRS that allows me to certify certain ITINs, individual tax ID numbers for foreigners coming into the United States who have to file tax returns.
So if I get in trouble,
I got you.
I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm with you.
That's right.
It. That's
right. I got you.
You also have a doctorate in management.
Yes.
So you're Dr. Patty Mason.
I am.
Tell us about that.
What a difficult journey. But honestly, I think the doctoral journey was the one that changed my life forever. Not only with the mindset of success, but it opened my eyes to creativity. Also, how to look at organizations holistically, how to look at money holistically. It's not just about today, it's also about tomorrow. And the doctoral in organizational leadership allows me to not only mentor the leaders of an organization, but to know the strategic plans necessary to help businesses rise up and thrive well into the future.
Yes.
That's why I got that degree.
Yeah. So you've lived the immigrant story that so many of us can identify with. You had an entrepreneur story, and now you're building legacy wealth and teaching others. So tell us, what shaped the way you approach money, and how do you help others today?
Oh, that's such a great question. One of the early stages of my financial management journey is coming from a country where we had above a middle class lifestyle and coming to a country not speaking the language and living in poverty. I had the awesome opportunity to really assess the kind of lifestyle I desire for myself at a very young age. I think at 12 years old, I walked into my CPA cousin's house and I saw those spiral staircase and I said, you know what? This is the life I want. And at 12 years old, I was like, that burning desire awoke and I'm like, whatever it takes. And then becoming
you had to get out.
I had to, that poverty mindset. So I think by the time I was 24 years old, I generated 3 different sources of income.
Wow.
I became a professional soccer referee, so I got money on the
full of
weekends.
Surprises.
Oh, you have no idea. I got so much to say. But I did that because I needed residual income. And I learned about residual income at 21 years old, 22 years old. Okay. And as a young mom, I became a mom at 20. So between 20 and 24 with this baby boy, I was like, wait a minute, I got to give this kid a better life than what I experienced between 11 and 17 years old. So I decided to create multiple sources of income, and creativity kicked in. I'm like, okay, well, I can referee, make money this way. I can create a partnership with my boss. Bookkeeping was not huge 30 years ago within CPA firms. So I created within the CPA firm a bookkeeping department. So we generated revenue that way. So I've always had a vision for businesses. I'm just constantly, having vision. And in 2022, I decided to become an investor. I was mentored at 19 by a substantially large investor who was in the later years of his life. And I was balancing his $1 million checkbook. And I was like, tell me more about your story. So it's fascinating to listen to people's stories. You never know what you learn from their walk of life. So he taught me that the way to become financially free is through investing, through investment properties, passive income, creating multiple sources of income. And so in 2021, I think I bought my first commercial. 23, another commercial, a residential, and very recently, my 4th investment property. And what I'm proud of the most as a woman who, I did it by myself in terms of, I got my own financing, kept my credit high. It's so important to understand how much goes into becoming an investor. If you're doing it the hard way, which means hard work, working on your credit, working on your cash flow, working on your business to ensure that that's still thriving while you're building other cash flow. It's a process.
And that's why
Success
we're
is
here.
not overnight. Yeah.
That's what we want to talk about, because when you're growing up and you don't come from money,
Sure.
you're not learning any of these things. You just said you were under the wing of a mentor, of an
That's
investor,
right.
and you learned and you were exposed to that. Before I came into real estate, there were a lot of things that I didn't know. And then I started seeing money. I was like, wait, hold on. There's money to go around. There's no scarcity of money. There's an abundance of money, regardless of what we think or where we grew up.
That's right.
But here's the thing, because that's not how I grew up. That's not what my mom saw. I didn't know what to do with that money, right? And so that's why we need people like you. I'm excited to be in your academy. So I just want to segue into those things. Can you tell the audience a little bit about what makes your firm different? It's not just filing taxes. It's strategy, planning, structuring.
I think that's such a wonderful point. I think as accountants, we lost sight of service. We are so busy providing a tax return and meeting deadlines that we're forgetting about that small mom and pop business. We're forgetting about these incredible agents that are so passionate about their gift. We have to understand that we are all gifted with different skills and talents, right? So you're a real estate agent, but you don't necessarily know that, hey, as a real estate agent, you also have a business to run. And so my accounting practice not only focuses on preparing a tax return, but I care deeply about you. I care deeply about your financial success, because in this journey of 30 years in this, I've seen the numerous accounts where management of money was scarce. It was just not well done. And not only that, but there was very limited knowledge about what to do with money. And I felt that we as accountants got to do more. So any business that I take on as a client, whether you're a real estate agent, an attorney, anything, a doctor, I dive deep into your life.
I believe that. I can vouch for that.
Dissect your life.
We've been working together for the last, couple of months? Couple months with Bethany, my business partner for Pass the Task. You've been with her for a few years, and she said, you have to meet Dr. Patty. And I had another accountant, and when I started talking to you, I was like, oh, now I get it. Like, this is not just an accountant. Like, she's going to be my friend. She's going to be my sister. Yes. She's going to be my teacher. I felt a huge relief when I started working with you, Patty. So I just want to thank you for caring more than just numbers. Like, you care about the people. And that's why I've had relief, because, when you're behind in taxes, then you don't know what to do. And so I just love that you do that. And I think that's what makes you so different. So
I appreciate that. And, I put value in that, for sure. No crying. But it matters. It really does matter that you put people first. And in any industry, you put people first, the money will always follow. You got to believe in that,
So tell us, I already know, but tell us, what is the biggest mistakes that agents make in their business?
The first biggest is commingling their funds. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's a gap of knowledge or because, oh my gosh, I got this 50 grand in and willy-nilly, I need this. And you see the first shiny toy and you want it. I don't know what the mindset is, but mindset is a critical aspect of our financial management skills. So the first mistake is absolutely commingling funds. We have to understand that business money is not personal money, but there's a way to make that business money become some of your personal money. But we have to structure things the right way.
We'll talk a little bit more about that. But tell us right now, just give us one quick thing an agent listening right now could do this week to put more money into their pocket at tax time.
Create a financial framework for a budget for your money, and do some strategic planning for taxes.
That's the first step.
That's the first step.
So for someone who's hearing this that may be thinking, budget restricts me. I don't want to do a budget.
Oh, but you know what? Budget does not restrict you. It creates financial freedom for you. Because when you plan for every facet of your life, you plan for your wants, you plan for your needs, you plan for that slush money that can be used for your next new shiny toy. When you plan for that, every facet of your life is taken care of. your today and your tomorrow.
Yes. So if I was looking for a budget and I didn't know where to get started, where can I go?
You can come to me and
okay.
send me an email at patty@masones.com. And I have this beautiful Excel spreadsheet. It's a holistic approach to money management. And it's designed specifically to fill in the gaps, run those numbers so that you can get a good view on what your financial picture is. See, when you know where you stand, you know how to plan.
I like that. I'm going to write it on my wall in my room. So go ahead and send Patty an email at patty@masoneas.com.
That's right.
And in the subject line, write budget, and she will send you that budget template so that you can get started. And more than that, we have our next NAHREP event on October 23rd. We're going to be talking about tools that you can use in taxes, tech and trends. And Patty is going to be one of our amazing speakers at a fireside chat where we're going to talk about commissions, how to use that. And there, if you're in the audience, she's going to give you access to her time for 2 hours so that you can do a strategy session and learn where to go. So we're excited for that. We can't wait to see you there. It's in Doral here in Miami at the Fire Tower. So let's go into the next Financial Wellness Academy section, which I'm excited. I'm your first student, number one. You created the Wellness Academy to educate people about money, but it's not just budgeting. We talked about it. It's mindset, it's business, it's legacy. So tell me a little bit about what's the dream behind launching that?
The dream behind launching this is that I'm not only a lifetime learner, but an educator. I care to teach. I care to educate. It matters to me how you manage your money to success. Because at the end of the day, whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, on this earth, we need money to survive, to thrive. So it's so critically important that you gain a good financial management structure so that you can become successful. In this academy, my vision was I want to teach. My heart is to serve God's people. So I want to teach. And so I want to teach all these students like you become my dream come true. Because when you thrive, I thrive. When we serve one another, we both thrive. I have a framework, a mindset that is the success of all people. And so the drive was my passion to teach, but my secondary is to serve people with the right kind of information you need to actually become successful. And you can come from Romania, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, wherever you come from, any walk of life you come from, this is the framework to succeed. When you do it with hard work, structure, discipline, when you have that game plan, you can do this. And that's what this academy is going to do.
I love that. When we were doing our taxes, I was asking myself, how can I borrow her brain? And then you talked about the academy. I'm like, I can carry her with me. Like, how amazing is this? And so in the academy, you have certain pillars. You talk about success mindset and money habits. You talk about business structuring and strategic planning. You talk about investments in real estate, retirement and legacy planning. I mean, that's one thing that I never talked about retirement, right? If you don't have a regular job, 9 to 5, that's already structured for you, you may not have it set up. So I'm glad that you go into that. But I do want to talk a little bit about the investment. Where do you get started? Say, when I was 22 years old and I got my first job out of college, I started making $43,000 a year. When I came into real estate, one paycheck was more than just that. And at that moment, I was like, what? We made it, Mom. Like that, right? But then I had a new problem. What do I do with this money?
Right.
So for someone who's listening that started making more money than they ever saw before, what would you say is the first step, the first investment that they should make after they've already structured?
So when we're thinking about getting into a lot of money all of a sudden, right? The first step is to sit down and make a plan for that money.
Okay.
Because $50,000, can you invest in a piece of real estate? I don't know. Do you want to give up all that money right off the bat, or do we want to put X amount in maybe a CD momentarily? Everything starts with a plan. We have to have a plan for that money. So investment could be anything, right? It could be a stock market, it could be a mutual fund, it could be a CD, passive income. You can, start a book,
retirement planning.
Yeah, right. IRAs or SEPs. So the point is that you have many vehicles, but first and foremost, you got to learn how to manage that. Because I feel like the first step is your mindset. All of a sudden, you get this lot of money, what to do with it. The first instinct of most people in my expertise and what I've seen through 30 years is buy the next car. Oh, I need a new car. It's not always the mindset that is dictating. A lot of people are emotional decision.
The shoes.
No, it's the emotional decision making. The shoes, the purse, the diamond earrings. These are all shiny toys that are not necessarily what you need. So when first money comes in, make sure your mind is right. And then invoke a good attorney, get someone, an accountant that understands money management so that you can get a plan together for that money. Once you have a plan together, now we can talk about what we're going to do with that money to invest it. But always to have a plan is where it starts.
So let's start with that plan. Let's talk about the first pillar they should focus on, which you mentioned earlier would be the bucket systems. Can you break that down a little bit for the audience?
Absolutely. So the bucket system is very similar. It's a metaphor for me, for my system, where we're talking about bank accounts, right? So the first bucket is your needs. What are the needs that we need to cover to ensure that we are surviving? First step. Second bucket, or another bank account, that is your wants. So all those shiny toys that you want, to plan some money for that, grow some money from that. So that's the bucket you put some money in. This account is always budgeted, right? Because our needs are always priority. The second bucket, our wants, that is a secondary because that's that vacation that you want. That's that extra stuff that you want. And then we have a third bucket, which is our savings bucket. I like the savings bucket because I diversify savings buckets. So we keep certain money liquid. So we have a savings account that may hold, let's just talk numbers, $20,000. And then I want to do a long term that, let's say that this next $20,000, I don't want to spend, but I'm not going to use. So let me park it in a 1-year CD and get some money on it.
Okay.
Right? But I want to keep it liquid soon enough for me. And then the long term would be, let's put some money in a retirement account. Maybe buy some mutual funds. It depends on where your appetite of investment is. And then furthermore, save for some investment properties. So these are the buckets that we talk about for money management. And again, I bring us back to my approach to money management is holistic. It's not just about today. The inevitable will come. We will age. And there will come a time where we can't work or we don't want to work.
You may get into an accident, anything can happen.
You don't know.
Yeah.
But if you plan for every facet of your life, you're always going to have.
So let's put this in a practical way.
Sure.
Into my bank account, say I have one bank, I can have one checking account and that could be called fixed expenses. Then I can have another checking account that says variable expenses. And then I can have 2 savings accounts. This is how I have mine set up. You saw it.
I like it.
And then I have my savings account that are short-term savings and long-term savings. Really easy to do.
Simple.
In my bank account, with my bank, I didn't have to pay extra to have these different accounts. So when we're talking about the bucket systems, you can create it within your own bank, bank account.
Absolutely.
And to separate the money to go to different things. So then you're taking the money from the correct budgets. If I know that my fixed expenses are $4,000 within the month, then into my fixed expenses, I have $4,000 going in every month so that I can cover for my expenses.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's such a simple process. It can be done. It's so simple. Your money comes into the one checking account and you divvy up into your other buckets or other bank accounts and grow them. You want to grow them. And then we decide based on our financial plan, for our money management, we decide, okay, at what point will that long-term savings look like or that short-term savings looks like where we're ready to maybe buy a piece of property,
Love that.
Because ultimately we want to buy investment properties to create passive income. Exchanging our time for money is short-lived because once our strength is done, what are we going to do?
Yeah, hustle now.
Hustle now. And well, somebody said it very wisely. It's either you work hard now and have it easy later or make it easy now and have it hard later. What do you want to do?
That'll preach.
Ask yourself that question.
Yes. Love it, Patty. So you're passionate about helping women and men both, but you have a heart for women specifically. And you want to, let's help women step into financial power. So what do you want every woman listening to know about money?
Ladies. I like to look good too. But some of that extra designer stuff is not always necessary in the beginning of your growth. So to become financially free, I keep going back to the same thing. Have a plan for it. Have a plan for everything. Get your mind together. Get a holistic mindset. Because when you develop that mental frame of work to allow you to create those buckets of savings, you're going to have everything. You're going to be able to have everything. I truly believe that every woman should be independent of government, of man, of everything, and have her own stuff in good order. It's so empowering as a woman to have choices, because that's what money does. It gives you choices. It gives you the freedom to choose the exact life that you desire, including those fancy, shiny toys. But if you plan for it, you know that your account is not going to struggle. And ladies, don't be afraid to look at your bank account. Get familiar. Fall in love with the journey of financial success. Get that burning desire.
How often should they be looking at their bank account?
Every day. Every single day to look. To me, it's so exhilarating to see the money grow, to see that, hey, I busted my buns to get these properties, and now that money's coming in every month. Is coming in, and the account is just growing. Tell me, what does it feel like to see your money grow? And what does it feel like to see it deplete? Which emotion makes you feel better? It's something to think about.
It's been so good to have you here with us, Patty. Thank you so much for sharing your story, your expertise. Thank you for the practical tools that you shared with us today. I know that our listeners are walking away with a lot of knowledge that they needed and real strategies that they can apply immediately. And for those of you who want to connect with Patty, you can find her through Mason Accounting and Consulting Services. You can also email her at Patty. What is it, Patty?
Patty at MasonEAS.com. That's right.
That. I love it. And also you can join her upcoming Financial Wellness Academy.
Yes.
And you can meet her in person on October 23rd if you're local to Miami, or can fly in. And we're going to be just talking a little bit more there. They can meet you in person. They can meet your team. They can set up a strategy session with you. More than having knowledge is applied knowledge and having a mentor that's going to walk you through that. So I'm excited I'm under your wing, and just helping create the financial future that I also deserve.
Yes, you do. And every girl does, and every guy does. And I kid you not, anything you dream of is possible. It's all in the state of mind.
Let's go. Don't forget, everyone listening, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and so you never miss an episode of the NAHREP South Florida podcast. If you're local to South Florida, we'll see you on October 23rd. Take care.